Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So today we will recreate this one here. And yeah, there is not much to say about it. And I did this for a very good client and he was very happy with it. He needs it for some, I don't know, I think it was VJ things or something else. But let's do this now. This is quite easy. We don't need any plugins or something else. Yeah, I used here a plugin, but I show you we wouldn't need it. But it's a free plugin from Noseman, so it shouldn't be a problem. So okay, no, simply let's start. And sorry for the delay. I know the tutorial comes not so often as planned, but it's I'm just busy and I'm still alone here with my work, and yeah, I had my birthday. I celebrated my birthday. That took me about 3-4 days. 1 day party, 3 day recover, and so on. Yeah, I think you know this. If you're a little older, you need your time. So anyways, so let's start with this. We go to cinema and we start with a simple plane. So let's go to the plane, bring it in the +C direction, and we need it. So for, let's say 200 height is enough number, and width for now 1000. We can change this to any time, so don't need any height segments, but I used a tenth of my width here for the width segments, so 100 here, that I get a nice shape here. And now I bring an displacer under my plane. So I go to the displace deform. I hold my shift key so it will become a child of the plane. So shift key, click on the displacer, and you see it becomes a child. And here, for now, in the shading tab, we use our noise here. You see it does something. Of course, the noise has to be here much bigger. So I go to world here, and here about 3000 or so. And now we need here more segments. But you see, okay, it displaces, but not in the direction I wanted. So first of all, I go here to intensity, and now instead of the vertex normals, I go to planar, and go here in the +Y. Now you see we have this nice displacement. In the shading, I'm happy with this, but we can animate this, of course. So let's make here animation speed of 0.5 and a loop period. I have here 8 seconds, so 200 frames with 20 frames per second makes 8 seconds. So I loop it every 8 seconds. And if we play this, we get something like this. So, but now I want to displace only the top here and not the bottom. It does not matter normally, but because we go so close that we don't see the bottom. But I want to show you how you can do this. And this is very easy. You go to your displacer. In the fields tab, simply use a linear field and put the linear field to +Y as well. So, and that's done. I make the linear field a little smaller. So, and you see, okay, that's fine. And when I hit play now, only the top moves. Great, that's what I want. Let's save this and waves. Tutorials. And now I want a sweep knob, so a spline on top of this thing. So on the top edge should be a spline. There are some ways to do this, or at least two ways would make sense. And one way is with the extension from Noseman, with this edge to spline. But I show you first without plugin and then with the plugin. But with the plugin it's much better, so it's much easier. Or should I show you? I'll show you first the plugin version. You will find the link to the plugin. So I give you a link to the YouTube video from Noseman where he explains it. And in the description of this video, then you can download. You will find the link to download this extension for free. So let's start with the. So I disable my displacer for now. We can hide here the field. And first of all, I need an edge selection. Now with newer versions of Cinema, you can make edge selections directly on parametric objects. So I click right here. I don't have to convert it, and go to edge selection. In the edge selection, I can use fields now. You see, and here I use the box field is what I want to use. So go to the box field. In the side view, I see it a little better. So this is the pink one here. I drag it up to somewhere that we have the middle here. So and now I can first I make the fall off. So and then I bring this down. And what's important is we have to cover the whole plane here. We can make it here a little smaller as well. So that's it. It's all what we need. So now we have selected this edge here. And to see it so let's go to the extension, edge to spline. And in the edge to spline, you have an object and an edge selection. So let's go and bring in the plane for the object. So what this does, it makes an edge or a spline of each edge here, of every edge. So to see this, we can hide the plane. You see now we have this edge to spline. It makes a spline of every edge we have here. And now we have we have with the box field, we say we want just this edge here. So let's go to the edge spline and bring in the edge selection. And now you see we have only this spline here. And of course, if we hit play, so now we can go to the displacer. You see it goes with the displacer and does exactly the same what the plane does. And it is perfect for our purposes. So, the good way here is we have exactly the same. Let's make a sweep here. So, okay, sorry. 1, and here we go to 5 centimeter. Bring it down here. So, bring the circle in a sweep. And put this under it. So, you see, we don't need here any caps. And we have exactly the same amount of edge. You know, this does not bother me because we go so close, we don't see this. No, come on. And we have exactly the same amount of subdivisions here. When I change the subdivision of the plane here, with segments, you will see it will change with it. Let's go back to 100 and then go to 150. It should change with it. Why does it not? Let's see why this is so. No, okay, it did not. update this. But you see, now we have the same amount in our sweep as well, so normally it should update quite well. When I go to 100 here, yeah, now it has it, you see, 100, 150, now it works. Okay, this is a big winner. Now it does not work again, so but if not, then let's make this. Okay, this is the first way. The second way is, let's put this out and deactivate it for now. We can hide the box field as well here. The second way is, let's disable the display. We make a spline, here an helix spline in this case. Bring the helix spline and make it straight line, so to go to 0 by 0, so we have a straight line here. Yes, as you see it barely. And I want it as long as the plane is, so the plane is 1000 centimeters. So let's go to the height here and say 1000 centimeter. And the subdivisions is 100, exactly like the plane, but don't forget to bring down the subdivision numbers here. So we go here to 0, so now we have exactly 100 subdivisions here. And I place this now, this helix, on the first point here. So this is quite easy. We activate the snapping with Shift S, or you can activate it here as well, and on this enable snap, you see. Shift S is the shortcut, and I simply drag it to my first point here. So it snaps to it, and that's fine. Now we have here a spline. And let's bring in the spline in this sweep so we see it even better. And it has these 100 subdivisions, everything is fine. Now we don't have the displacement. So when we displace here, you see nothing happens. The plane displaces, but not the man. So we could of course use the same displacer here under the helix, but then if we want to change something in the displacer, so we have always to select both of them and. So this is a little well, it's not so clever. So let's do it another way. We go to the helix, and we under the helix we put as a child we put a surface deformer. So I select the helix, hold my shift key and go to the surface deformer. Nothing happens, and this is okay. You see, we need a surface. The surface is our plane in this case. Whoops, still nothing happens, but if we projection is okay, if we hit an initialize, we get this. And if we hit play, we get this. It totally works, but the only downside here is if we change now here the subdivisions to 150 or something else. First of all, it does not change the subdivisions in the sweep or in the spline, and you always have to go back to the surface and hit initialize. So, and when I want the same amount of subdivisions here, I have to go to the sweep. So now subdivision is 150, and as soon as I do this, I have to go back to the surface deformer and hit initialize. If once edition is initialized, everything works fine. So it means if you don't want to work with the Edge to Spline plugin, or you don't want to download it or whatever, you can do it this way with the helix. But I stay with the Edge to Spline here. So, whoop. Edge to spline into the sweep, and we are happy. Let's go back here to 100. You see it works perfect. Good, we have now our sweep here, we have our plane, everything is fine. Now we start to clone this whole thing. And to clone this whole thing, we simply put these two guys in a null object. So I make a new null object, drag these two guys inside, and put it in a cloner. Alt G. Not Alt G, what here, cloner, Alt key and cloner. You see, that works perfect. We cannot work with multi-instances or render instances. Let's make some more here to see it. We need it only in this C direction. So make here, let's say we make here 500, and then this is the endpoint, and give here 50 for now. You see, that works great. But we can, it does work great. You see, we can work wonderful with this. But if you would use multi instances or render instances, you will get on each the same displays, and then this is not what you want. This is for sure not what you want. In this case, this looks quite nice, huh? And maybe make the sweep a little smaller here. So let's go here to 3. That looks even better. So this is the first part of all this. So we find, then later we find a nice camera position. So it's the camera, activate it, and go to portrait camera or something like this. See, this looks quite nice here. So this is already a nice view, I would say. Let's protect this. Okay, good. And next step is we need this spheres and this net here. So the spheres, this is quite easy. Everything here is quite easy. So this is, for this spheres you can make as well different ways. But what I did was I made another plane here. So a plane which is exactly the size of our cloner here. So let's make a plane. You see it. So let's hide the camera here. So we have our plane here. Make the plane this size, and I have still the snapping on, so I don't need it. So, and E for the move tool. Should be somewhere here. It is okay. Bring it up here and give it some more subdivisions if you want. You don't have to, but if you want, I'll give it here. That is 30 by 30. And here I use another displacer, and then I want to clone later on the display surface here the spheres. But we can use the same. We can use here the surface deformer as well, but no, that wouldn't work so good. But we can use the same displacer or even another displacer to make it a little more little more variation. But I think I will use the same displacer here. And let's see what it does. Maybe I can clone it. I did not test it, but I want to use another surface deformer. And what if I use the cloner as a surface? I don't think that will work, but the surface, the cloner. Let's see what it does. Initialize. This does nothing, or it calculates mapping UV. No, that does nothing. Okay. But if I put the cloner in a connect object, that is okay, and use the connect, initialize. No, that does nothing. Here it does something weird. That makes no difference, but I want to test it. Okay, no surface deformer. I simply use the same thing here, so I drag in, we hold my control key and drag in the control key. We don't need the field here, the control key just copies over the displacer. So now we have the same displacement here and here. So that means when I go down here with the plane, you see it is exactly the same thing here. It changes a little bit when you move it, of course, because we have set the noise to world, so it is a little different, but it always quite fits. And we don't see this plane, so what I make is now I make a sphere and clone this sphere. The sphere is about, don't know, 20. The sphere somewhere is here, and put it in the. I bring it down here to just doesn't matter where it is in the hierarchy, but so I need a cloner here, and I clone it on an object, and the object will be the plane here. Set the surface. You see we have now some spheres, but I want, of course, more of them or not. If you, this is totally on you. First of all, I want to change the so I want to make a random size. So I go to the cloner and use a random deformer. What I do, a random effector, what I do here, you can normally click on it, but normally I hold the shift key to make it a child. And the reason is, so I always want my effectors above the cloner where I use it. And so I don't have to search it somewhere and drag it down, so I just drag it over. And in the random, I want the scale, an absolute, uniform scale, absolute scale, yeah, and I want it to -0.9 or so, really good. Yeah, they don't overlap. Here they overlap, but this doesn't matter. We can use later another push apart effector or something else, or we change the seed here, but I want to randomize as well the height, so the y-axis. But first of all, I want more cloner. Let's say the double of it. So okay, and seed. Yeah, but you can change this whenever you want. And we could now bring in another, the push apart effector. So push apart effector, and I want to push apart then of 20 or so, and then we shouldn't get any subdivision, any intersections. Okay, let's hide the plane. First of all, let's see if we even need the. With NA, I can hide the lines. It looks already quite nice. If we go and play this. See, that works quite nice. But the spheres are a little too big here. Okay, and we can add a random position in the Y, let's say. So, no, the Y is the wrong. I think this C is. So, let's go to 25 or so. Only we have to be careful that we don't intersect with our sweeps here. That I think that wouldn't look so nice. Let's give it 10 here as well, so that we have 25. A little more movement in this whole thing. Okay, nice. Maybe bring the cloner a little up here. No, not the cloner. If we want to change this, we have to bring the plane up here, so then it goes higher. So, because it's cloned on the plane, so that if we change the position of the plane, the cloner position will be changed as well. Okay. Then I see here we have some cutted edges. This is of course not what I want to see. And this is the next one. When I make now the plane longer or more wide width, so the edge to spline simply changes with it. This wouldn't be the case with the helix spline on top. So we would have to change the position of the helix spline again and. So this is for sure the better way. Let's make to what's on the plane here. Yeah, the plane I have to change as well maybe, but for now I want to change the connect. We don't need here, so bye bye. I want to change this plane here to 2000. Normally the edge to spline should change as well, as I said, but maybe we have it or none. Let's stop the animation. So we somewhere, so here we see it. So and when we go to the edge spline, disable it and enable. Why the box field is too small. It does not cover the whole. Now you see, so that means the edges are not selected. When I go up with the box spline, now we have it. You see. So that looks great now. We can even change this the width to 2000 now if we want. But I don't think that makes any difference. No, let's stay with 1000. And we could give now more cloner, but this is everything we can make later. Let's make 100 clones. They shouldn't intersect because of the push apart factor. Yeah, you see, nothing intersects here. Great, save it. And the next thing is this net, what I did. So this is quite easy as well. I'm copy simply this plane here. This will be the net. Bring it in. And this one I want down. And I don't want the display sun here, so the display sun maybe later. Yeah, disable the display sun for now. Or put it out. Bring it down. And I bring this net here, so bring back the the lines so that I can see it. Maybe. Okay, that looked quite nice. And we can hide this cloner for now. And we can hide the sphere cloner. So let's go to this, and I bring simply this net in a Voronoi fracture. So Alt Voronoi fracture, and you see we have some kind of a net structure here. And sources, G, and let's make here some more. Okay, that's great. Now I want to simply the new cuts here is a spline. And to do so, we go to the Voronoi fracture and go to the selections and set surface break edges. So we get a selection tag here. Now I bring the Voronoi fracture in a connect object and make the connect object editable, so current state to objects. I have it here in my thing. Otherwise I could right click here and current state to object. And you see we have this edge selection here, which we need. See here, I hide this, and when I double click on this edge selection, I see I get this selected edges. And now I simply go not to the plugin, we have a normal edge to spline things. So when you don't have it in your toolbar, you can find it somewhere in the mesh, and I think in the mesh or not, edge to spline here. And this creates a spline out of the selected edges. So I drag this out, delete this, and I have a spline here. It's exactly the spline I want. And if I put the displacer under the spline, we get this. And to make the spline a little more interesting later, so I make another sweep here. So let's copy this sweep, control drag it out, and instead of this guy here, I use this guy here, and I have my sweeps. And let's say I want here, of course, a smaller one, so one or so, this should be fine. Let's go with NA again, so we see just, and we can put the sweep in a subdivision surface maybe, so that we get some nice rounded edges here. Or maybe we can try to make it even. So let's go here, let's disable this and put it in a null, Alt G, and under the null I want a smoothing effect. I did this not in the original one, but here the smoothing. So as you see, the stiffness I have at 0, and the iterations I can smooth it down. So we get something. This could look nice as well if we have just, and put this again in the subdivision surface. How does this look through the camera? With these rings more than less. This could look quite nice. For the move tool. Where is my, I wanna move my connect here. Did I hire Alt D now? Let's go out here. I miss my, this gizmo here. And I want to go to the coordinates and go with, good. don't know where my but you can here, because I am not in the object mode. It's the object mode now. It's okay. Yeah, so bring everything back. The spheres as well. Now we can bring the spheres down. So let's bring the plane down to this cloner spheres here. Or maybe above the effectors. So I know a plane spheres so that I know which plane this is. Save. So I'm gonna drag this down now. The spheres come down. Something like that. And maybe we bring the spline wheel down. See what we get here. Maybe I don't want this smoothing, at least not that much. Yeah. Because it is smoothing, no, not the stiffness. You see, it smoothes the lines, also the sweep as well. Maybe we could go here when we put more subdivisions inside it. That works now, because it cannot smooth so much if it have more points. But I think this, make it like this and go here to a little smoothing, maybe 3. Okay, we can set it up. Yeah, that looks nice. And here I really don't care if the spheres intersect with the net. This nobody sees it. What's important here now is depth of field, of course. Save it. Yeah, to render this is very easy. So the Octane version is already on Patreon. So let's make now, I think, a physical render version. Yeah, and you see here it's a little jaggy. We could, of course, put here the sweep. Where do we have our sweep here? In a subdivision surface. That would make it smoother, I think. Yeah, I see, that smoothes out. Makes the animation slower, of course, but it doesn't matter. Or we simply could give our plane here more subdivisions, so this would make it smoother as well. But in this case, I think this is okay with the subdivision surface here. Okay, so now with Shift F2 I go to my material manager here, and this is quite easy. First of all, of course, I use my Nikomedias Scene Rig to bring in a HDRI and light and everything. But you could light this with just lights as well. But I always use my Nikomedias Scene Rig. And bring here down. I don't need a floor, but the background I want. So, but I want a dark background. So something like that. Okay, and the HDRI we can use. Doesn't matter which one. And outdoor, indoor. Let's see. Don't know which one I used in the original version, but we can here change everything whenever we want. Let's do a rehearsal room here. Okay, save, and now we need some materials. This is simply on the planes. I have a black material. On the edges, I think gold or something else. This was in the original one was the same, but I make the color change here, the bluish color here. I made in postwork. I simply played in postwork with the hue, and that's it. So let's make a simple plastic material. So I make PR material and the color, dark color, reflectance. We go to the next. This is always the same. 15 should be fine here. We have a dielectric pad, everything should be fine. So, and we bring this on our plane. So on the clone plane, this is planes. So, and drag it on this guy here. Whoop. And of course it's now everything is black, so because I put it on the cloner, then let's bring it only on the planes. So, and I think still the sweeps are too big. Yeah, that looks better, I think. Maybe even smaller. Yeah, that's the nice thing in this one, you can change everything whenever you want. Then we need a gold material, which is quite easy to do in the physical render. No color, just reflectance. In the Fresnel we need conductor, and here we go to gold. And we have our gold. Here we little less roughness. And this we put on our sweep. Boing. Save it. Okay, now for the net I used the gold as well, I think. This is our net here. We can delete this one here. And the net we make gold as well, because I'm lazy. And make it a silver. We copy this, or chromium or something else. We have here. Let's make chromium or aluminium. So go over it. You see, you can simply exchange this. When you go over it, you see the arrow down, and so it exchanges this. So, and for the cloner, I want silver and black, or gold and black. I don't want the gold here. Go here with this silver as well, or I don't know. Make it gold and black here. So yeah, gold and black. So we could go to the clone spheres and make a random effector for the color, but I want the same amount. So I want the same amount of black and gold spheres. The simplest version to do this is simply make another sphere, hold the control key, clone it, and bring it in this as well here. So now it has two spheres, but the amount of cloners is still, everything is the same, you see. But now I can put one with gold, you see exactly the half is this, and one with black. And that's it, so we don't need any effector or something else. That looks nice. Let's see, let me go here. The render settings, make here a low setting for physical render. normally you don't even need GI here. When I go to low here, the HDRI map in here would be here only for reflections. And we shouldn't see here. Let's save it. Let's go here to 720 by 720. Operation. Render the current frame for now. Let's see what I have here. Let's simply Shift R and let's see what we get. Current frame is no fun. Yeah, do whatever you want. Oh, no, that's always the same. I always forget this little thing. Why they don't activate it automatically? Why is this not activated when I click on it? Tell me this. I have no idea. It's totally unnecessary. That is this always such little things where you think, "Hey, come on, this Shift R." So now don't get this. So we have this, and it is normally so this wouldn't have when I go here to light intensity of 500. Let's see. It makes no difference because this is only for HDRI things for global illumination for GI. And here we would need a light, but I don't want to work with light. Maybe when I bring this sunlight in, let's just. Oh no, this is, as I said, this is HDI thing only. With a normal light, this should work, but I don't work with lights. This is not mine. Let's try it, but normally it's really not my thing. Bring in a light. Disable my thing. See where the light is here. Light. Here's the light. I'll bring it over here somewhere. Where's the camera? Okay, this could be fun. So this. Render. Okay, we have the light here. This light is. Let's see how this looks in the preview render, so I don't have to render it always. So, okay, when I go here to intensity 500, yeah, but this reflects the light here, and it looks not so nice. Could try to make here. Volumetric light or visible light. Let's see what that does. Okay. I do so less with the light so that I am not a light guy. Let's see what this gets when we get the volumetric. It makes a difference. Anyways, if you know it, how to deal with light, but you see you have the light in the reflection here. Of course, you can go to the project and you can exclude things. So when I exclude the chromosphere, I don't have I have just the reflections from the HDRI now. But when I exclude everything, I think that makes not really a lot of sense, because then it's the same like before. I have it in the sweep now. I will do it with my thing, so don't need the light. I go to the render settings and tell it, hey, Hello GI. Hello GI. So I don't need magic bullet looks. Yeah, I can delete it as well. And now activate it here. 720. Current frame is okay, save. So, Shift R and let's see what we get. Okay. It's nice, but maybe not the HDRI I want. Sunlight. The sun is, but the sun, we would have to make the rotation and everything, but I don't want the sun in here, so. Let's try a different HDRI here. That makes it different. Okay. Maybe now I want on the net gold. Yeah. And what I want, of course, here is I want depth of field. So I go to the camera and see in the focus distance, I go to this eyedropper here, and the focus distance should be somewhere here, let's say. Okay. And the physical, so as smaller this number is, as more depth of field you will get. So let's say 0.5, and we have here a kind of preview. It does not really work nice, but depth of field. You can imagine how it looks. So this is okay, but and don't forget, if you work with physical render, it's very important that you go to your render settings and physical and activate depth of field. Otherwise you wouldn't see anything here. So, and let's render this now. Shift R. You see, this is totally different. This is here it would look okay, but here is much to 1. Too much depth of field. This could look quite nice. Maybe even 1.5. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, and now let's try this with a little better render setting. So I go to load preset, middle GI, back to 720. Physical, don't forget this guy here. And let's see, this the render settings are quite, but this could take, I think we can do faster, but it already looks much nicer. Good, we can make this quicker. The blurriness subdivision, we don't have so much blur in here. So first of all, we can go here to shading is, we don't have a lot of things here, so a little up here. Shadow subdivision, we don't see any shadows, so we can make the occlusion down. Okay, so the blurriness subdivision, but that should work quite quick now. Yeah. Okay, this noise here is we can get rid of, because now we have for the physical render we have a denoiser. I think this is a quite nice result. I like the net coming in front here with the denoiser, with the depth of field. Okay, and now let's add a denoiser here and render again. So we see that we can this guys here. We have a 45, everything with the physical render, everything under 1 minute, I would say, is a nice result. Shift R. We can go down with the blurriness subdivision down as well. Here is the, because the denoiser will do his work. Simply let's try it later. Yeah, the denoiser works great here. Without denoiser, with denoiser. This is a wonderful render. Of course, you can do. Every render I put in a post work and then make a post work. But here, if you want, just enable the filter, give it a little more exposure maybe and more contrast. Contrast is okay. Tone mapping, you can go and play with the gamma or something else. Yeah. You can get a really nice thing here. It looks really, really nice. And don't forget, if you work with the filter, if you want to use the filter, this is this. Look at this. If you want to use the filter, if you save your file later on, save image as, don't forget to activate here the use filter here. Otherwise it would render it out without the filter. So. But in my case, I always make this in post work. So. Okay, and now let's see if it makes a difference when we go to the blurriness and put it down to 1. Don't think it makes a big difference. For this render, you could even go down with these settings, I think. So you will get the render time of. It depends on your CPU, of course. And the good thing here is, you have to render only in 720p, because so if you have it, I told you in the last videos with the Topaz VideoAI. if you render it out with 720 and you can upscale it to 4K with no problems. So this is it. And you save so much time. You have a link, and it is in the description for the Topaz AI. You can try it for free as well, or you can buy it. It's not cheap, but it saves you a lot of time. And that's it needs longer with one subdivision. Now I want to try it. Let's go here down to 2, 1, 2. This is good. Let's see, do we have here? We have, with the subdivisions of the blurriness, we have a big difference. So this does not look so nice. We go back to 2, but here we go quite down. So you see that works much faster now. But let's see the difference. Between the two renders, because sometimes when it's a little less nice, but you save half of the time. See, that's 23 seconds, and it is not really a lot of difference. See, and you have 23 seconds instead of 45. So yeah, that's it. Save it. Yeah, patrons can download data on this on the Patreon site as well, the physical version. And is there more to say? Not really. If you have questions, complaints, requests, please let me know. You will find me almost everywhere on the net, so in the social media things. Yeah, normally mostly on Facebook or Instagram, or on my homepage. You will find every link in the description. And yeah, that's it for now. I hope you like this one. And the next tutorial will come whenever I find time. So I really try. As soon as I have a little time, I will make a tutorial. So yeah, that's it. What can I say more? Yeah, thank you for your thank you all for watching the tutorial. Thank you all for following here on YouTube. Thank you all, especially the big thanks on my patrons. That's really great. So I really appreciate that. And the next tutorial will be one for just for patrons, but I have some in my mind, and really interesting things. But I have to find out how can I do it best, and then this will be then again Patreon only tutorials, and they go much deeper then. So yeah. Okay, that's it now. I wish you all a nice Sunday. So the rest of it, here you see it's midday. So and yeah, all the best here from Austria, Vienna, and ja, tschüss und baba.